everybody. Oh, yay, I'm blurry right off the bat. That is just what we always like to see. Awesome. So hello, everybody. Say hello to my palm. We are, as always, the three girls. So welcome back to another live. It feels like it's been ages since we've done one of these, but I think we're only like 2 weeks longer than we normally take between them. So I don't know. But anyway, so welcome to those. Oh, Jilly's here. Hi, how are you? It's so great to see you. Welcome. We have Crazy Bunny Lady. Hello. So feeding my soul. Yay. How are you guys all doing? It's good to see you. So welcome everybody. So today we are going to be doing a tag. We decided that it was just a fun tag that sounded interesting to all of us. So this is the What Made Me Do It tag. And I believe this was originated by Dragonfly Dilly. And so this is basically a tag that's all about like different decks you bought and like why you bought them, you know, like what made you buy this particular deck. And it seemed kind of fun. So we decided to go ahead and do this one. And welcome again all to those of us who are with us in the chat and those of us who, or those of you who are joining later to watch the recording. Sorry, I'm like trying to find the first deck I was going to talk about because I'm supposed to go first. So I'm ever so slightly distracted. But anyway, so the first category in this particular tag is TarotTube Made Me Do It. And I'm going to be going first. So I will talk first about the deck that TarotTube made me get. And it's in this very cool bag, which I really like a lot. And that is the Deviant Moon Tarot. Oh, thank you for putting me in.
You're welcome.
So this is the Deviant Moon Tarot. As you can imagine, this is a 100% on every level TarotTube Made Me Do It thing. And it took a long time for TarotTube to actually get me to do this because for a long time, every time I saw it, I was like, no, not for me. Nope. And then, you know, a number of people, like you see so many people talk about it and so many people talk about how even though they also are not like super fans of the artwork necessarily, or like that, it's not that the art style is the thing that attracts them to it, but it's the way that the deck really speaks about the cards and the card meanings. And finally I was just like, you know what, it's mass market, I'm gonna give it a try. And I did, and now I love this deck because it really is true that the way that it speaks about card meanings is really interesting. It always gets at like the dark side, the shadow side of the card meaning in a really interesting, kind of snarky, kind of funny way in a lot of cases. It's like very dark humor in this deck. And that makes it a really good deck for like when you need a deck to call you out on something, when you need a deck to like really point out the shadow aspects of a situation, the potential issues that are like lurking under the surface in a situation. And so, yeah, now I love this deck. And like, this is a very, you know, hand me my ass deck when I need my ass handed to me. So, but yeah, I would never, ever in a million years have picked this up if it hadn't been for people on TarotTube talking about it. So anyway, so that's my first deck. That's the Deviant Moon.
And that was one of the decks that we did for the very first Three Girls one deck.
Yeah. We did it in the first Three Girls.
The very first, yes.
Very first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was Heather and I trying to convince Julie, right?
Yes.
We were the ones who liked it. And then, the Deviant Dude.
I also have the Deviant Moon with me, but it's not obviously for this.
It's for a different. Interesting. Okay. Well, so I think Heather goes next, right? And then Julie last.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So for this one, I actually have a deck that's quite new to me, but very old to TarotTube, and that is the Sassorabito Tarot. And this is very similar. I mean, it is my art style, so it's not similar in that way, but this is one that for a really long time, it just went on my wish list and then off my wish list and then back on my wish list. And then I would see it and I'd think, oh, I really like that. And then somebody else would show a video of it and I'd be like, oh, I don't know. And then I think both of you showed it in a video where we were talking about decks, and another one like this where we were doing a tag and there was prompts, and you both showed it, and you are my TarotTube. You count.
That's right.
So that was the thing that kind of got me to go, you know what, I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to get it, try it. Like, you know what, if I don't like it, I'll just pass it on. I know a lot of people who would appreciate this deck if it's not for me. And yeah, I really like it. I'm actually really glad that I own it now, and I pull it out and I read with it. Like, not a huge amount, but enough to justify it being in my collection.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it is one of those ones that everybody on TarotTube seems to own.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It is absolutely true. So just want to welcome a few more people. We have Aquarius, Tarot Adventures, welcome. We have Marlena, we have Candy. So hopefully I haven't missed anybody, but thanks so much everybody who's there in the chat. Great to see all of you. So hi. All right. And I think it's Julie's turn. Just a reminder for everybody, we are doing the What Made Me Do It tag. And so those who have just joined, we are talking about the first category, which is TarotTube Made Me Do It. So these are decks that we bought due to being influenced by all of you lovely people and ourselves. So
okay, so the first deck that came to mind with this prompt is No Surprise Everyday Witch. This was a total TarotTube Made Me Do It because I
remember.
Yeah, I was not the least bit interested in this deck. It's totally not my thing. Just art-wise, vibe-wise, very kind of kitsch in a way that I did not think I would enjoy. And I just kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it on TarotTube, and people just really loved it so much. And it was just through constant exposure, really, as part of it, just constant exposure to it on Tarot YouTube. And then also my wanting to kind of branch out of, and try new decks, because I was still very early on in learning the tarot, or relearning the tarot and really getting into it. And I think it was, I've said this before, it was one particular video from a tarot YouTuber who no longer does videos. And she just kept going on about cats in this deck. And that is what then made me say, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it and see how it is. And I fell in love. And to this day, it's like a home deck for sure.
Yep. And Crazy Bunny Lady, it's the Imogen Walters video.
Yes,
that was the same one as you. Yep. That was the same one as Julie.
I miss Imogen. I do miss Imogen.
I miss her too. But
she hasn't been here for a minute, but she was a really fun, cool tarot tuber. So
so she just kept on and on about the cats, and you know me.
Yeah.
All you need to do is mention cats.
Didn't she name the cat Smudge? Like the cat that was in the deck was named Smudge, and she was like, "Oh, there's Smudge again." It was such a cute video. I remember it so distinctly because it influenced me about that deck too.
Right. Yeah. So, and it worked. And I've said it before, but it's just one of many examples where it's such a pleasant surprise, because you go into it thinking, this is totally not my jam, and then it turns out, it's one of my kindred home decks, ride or die decks that, I anticipate having forever. So, and hopefully I don't jinx myself saying that, but today it's true. So yeah.
So Julie, you're ever so slightly frozen on our end. Heather, is she frozen to you too?
She is, yes, now.
We can still hear you, but hopefully I'll switch it over to me, and hopefully your internet can get. Oh, there you are. Now you're moving.
Okay. Yeah, it happened in the very beginning too, during our intro. I missed everything you said. So I'm going to maybe come out and go out and come back in and see if that helps.
Okay. Well, while Julie is doing that, I am going to talk about the deck in the next category. So the next category is My Heart Made Me Do It. And I don't think anybody will be shocked to know that I'm talking about a deck that I made because my heart made me do it. And that is, of course, Bangtan Tarot, which is our deck that the three of us made. We talk about it like all the time. So sorry to everybody who's like seeing our BTS deck yet again for the 5 millionth time. But we really did make this deck. It was a true labor of love. And in my case, this is BTS. Like, these are my guys. Like, I love these guys so much. I still do. I'm a massive, massive, massive fan. The whole sort of like cosmology and mythos and like all of the thematic richness in everything that they do, like musically, visually, really supports a tarot deck incredibly well, I feel like. And I love them. I love their music, and making this deck was truly one of the most fun, sleepless, exciting experiences of my entire life. And so this is 100% my heart made me do it. I just love this deck. And sometimes I think that I could like make a whole other one, you know, like think about different takes on the cards and like do a second BTS deck that's just different, but with, you know, completely different card ideas and completely different pictures and all that stuff. Like it's like I could literally do this again just with all of the new ideas that I have about what this deck could be since we made it. So yeah, I love this deck a lot. So anyway, that is Pangdan Tarot, BTS fan deck that we made. So, oh, Marlena, you have another cards to make another deck in the first one. This is absolutely true.
Sarah basically owns 2 decks.
Basically owns 2 decks. Like pretty close actually, because it's like 140 cards is in my total deck, which is almost
2 decks.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but yeah, we made so many alternate cards and so many of them were so good. Like, what was I supposed to do? You know, I mean,
technically you basically own 3 decks because we reprinted. We had that final copy as well.
We also have a final copy as well.
So you have almost 3 decks.
Yes, I do own almost 3 decks, but the final copy at least has the same cards as like this copy.
Yes, that's true.
For the most part. So you know, so one's just an extra copy, but the other one is basically 2 decks. So anyway, all right, Heather's turn.
So I had a few I could have picked for this one, but I also went for a fan deck, I guess.
Is this not working?
I don't know. What have you broken now?
There we go. It seems super broken. Like I don't know what just happened.
I don't know what's going on.
Anyway,
so I went for the Buffy deck. Although it has its issues, like it definitely is my heart that made me buy this deck. I'm not like, I think it's the only, other than ours, it's the only fan-based deck that I own, and Buffy does have my heart. It does. And even now as an adult, I watch back and I'm like, oh, this is so problematic in places. And oh my God, these teenagers are so irritating. But at the time, I loved them with all of my being. And I still do, really.
Exactly. Of course you do. I do too. Like they make such terrible decisions half the time, and it's like, oh, that's a terrible decision I would have made. Yeah. Thank God I wouldn't now, but I totally would have. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they're really selfish, and sometimes they're really stupid, and sometimes they're really obnoxious. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, they're teenagers. Unfortunately, I think we were all a bit like that as teenagers. But I love it. I love it. Riley. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't really have anything to say about this that we haven't already discussed at length in the live that we all did together about this deck, which I don't even remember which channel that's on, but it will be in a playlist if you somehow missed it on all of our channels, I think. But yeah, it has its issues. The things that I would have done differently. But I bought it because my heart made me do it. There you go.
Well, and even for me, who rehomed that deck, that is not to say that there were not tons of cards in that deck that were spot on and brilliant. Like quite a lot of that deck I thought was really great. It was like just slightly on balance enough where I wasn't kind of jiving with what they had picked for the cards that I was like, probably I'm not going to reach for it as a reading deck necessarily. So I decided not to hang on to it. But honestly, like, most of the deck is still really, really good, I feel like.
I mean, in the spirit of complete honesty, I never get this deck out. I never reach for it. Like, it's just, I never think about it. And it's there, I can see it. I go to my shelf and it's quite near the front and I see it every time. And I never, ever reach for it. But I'll probably keep hold of it, at least for now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Until somebody makes a better one.
Which we would have done if we could actually get good quality.
If we could get the images, we would have done it, but we couldn't make it work.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like with BTS, there's like 5 gazillion recent, extremely high-res images that you can make very nice cards out of. And with Buffy, it's like screen grabs from somebody's old VHS tapes, and it's just like it's not as high quality.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's just not as good. So we tried. We had lots of ideas, but it was just not destined to happen due to technical issues. So Julie's turn.
Okay, so my choice is the Morning Calm Oracle. And I have talked about this before, but basically it's an oracle deck by she goes by Co, it says Co Kelleher, but she goes by Co Chen now. And I saw this on Instagram. It was like a random post for this Kickstarter for this oracle deck. And I had never heard of it before, never, seen it before, didn't know who Co Kelleher was. But just based on seeing like the one image and reading the caption, I was like, I am going to back this deck immediately and tell everybody else to back it as well. Because it just really filled my heart that, there could be a deck like this that's, like Korean themed, that's specific to my culture, because I had never seen that before and never would have imagined something like that would exist as a deck. So the fact that she had created it, I was just, and I think the illustrator's name is Eludia Yap, I believe. Anyway, she did a marvelous job. The images are beautiful. So yeah, this was definitely a heart-driven decision and no regrets. It's a really lovely deck. And that's it. That's my choice.
Love it. Yeah, it is a lovely deck.
Yeah.
It's a really special one. Okay, next up, the next category is My Head Made Me Do It. And so for this deck, I picked the Spirit Keepers Tarot. This is the Revelation edition. I have, in fact, owned all 3 editions of the Spirit Keepers Tarot, and I have moved on the first 2 editions. It was sort of like as every new edition came in, they each had a slightly different feel and tone and feeling, and each one felt like a maybe slightly more evolved version of the previous one. And so I always felt like, when a new one came out, the previous one I could move along and explore and work with the new one. And so this is the one that I have now. So this is the Revelation edition. This is the most recent edition. And this one is very different from the other 2. And I will admit that I haven't worked with it yet as much as I want to. But the thing that I always know with one of these decks is that you're going to get an absolutely gigantic, meaty guidebook with tons and tons of thought and information. And I'm always going to learn things that I've never thought about every time. And the artwork's going to be beautiful. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, I would obviously always buy whatever new deck Bettable comes out with, because that's, I know I'm going to get an amazing experience with it. And so it is very much like it's a very rational decision every time I get one of her decks. It's like, oh, she's coming out with a new version, I'm getting it. It's that simple, because I know that I am going to have a great experience with a lot of learning and interests. So that again is the Spirit Keepers Revelation edition. So
Good.
Yeah. All right, Heather's turn.
Cool. So I could have put this as My Heart Made Me Do It, but I put it here for a different reason, and that is the Alice Tarot by Baba Studio. And at the time that this deck came out, I had never all of my decks pretty much were mass market, and I'd never spent more than like 25-30 pounds on a deck. So, and this was like over £100 when she put in delivery and everything, and it was a lot of money. But it was also the last time they were ever going to print this deck, because who really knows with Baba Studio nowadays.
Exactly.
And it was one that me and my friend had seen and talked about and been like, God, if that deck ever comes back in print, we have to own it and stuff. And so I put the money aside. I saved up for it. When it went live, I got it. And it definitely was, for me, it was like a logical decision. I thought it through. I thought about the, long-term value of the deck. And I've never bought another deck with quite so much thought or logic involved since. But I still think it was a good choice. This is another one that I have to admit I hardly ever use. And it's another one that I own because of, it's Alice. And it's impossible to get hold of. And I don't think they will ever redo this one now. I don't think they will, but
yeah,
you never know. They keep
I feel like not that one. Like that one in particular, I haven't seen them make any kind of noise about tempted to reprint it or people asking for it to be reprinted or anything like that. Like I feel like with that one, it's a pretty safe bet that it probably won't be.
I do think Alice is quite niche.
Yeah.
Like in my head, everybody loves it because why wouldn't they? But if I'm being honest with myself, I do think it's a very niche thing in a niche thing. So
yeah,
I would imagine that all of their other decks sell better than this one does.
Yeah.
I love it. I do love it. I do. The cardstock is nice. The imagery is nice. I love the way, I think we talked about this in the live that we did last time. Like I like the way on this one they've kept the borders on and they have cards where stuff comes outside of the borders because it gives it that real storybook kind of feel, which I really appreciate. So yeah, it was bloody expensive though. In fact, it was so expensive it made me sound really British then.
Yeah. So Jilly says she treasures this one also, as well as the Tarot of Prague. I also love the Tarot of Prague. I think it's such a good deck. And I'm like not usually a collage deck kind of person, but that particular one, the way that the collage is done is just so interesting and witty and like I love it. So, and then we have Marlena saying that she feels like Spirit Keepers gets listed on most intimidating decks for a lot of folks. And I do think that's true, but like I did I remember with my first edition of the Spirit Keepers, I ended up doing a tag, just randomly doing a video where I did a tag using that deck. And it like, I don't know, it read really fluidly for some really, really like very kind of niche philosophical questions. And like, after that, I wasn't really intimidated by it anymore because it felt like it wanted to talk to me, which is, I don't know, kind of a weird way to put it, I suppose. But
was that Annabelle's tag? I feel like I did that too. Yeah, she did it was like, that railway question where it's like
the trolley problem.
The trolley problem. Yeah. I did that as well. And using the deck and actually I've used that deck in all number of ways, just like the most mundane ask questions you could possibly ask. I do understand why people think it, it feels more, say, highbrow or like lofty or, but you can use it for any number of questions. I have definitely used it for some silly questions and it's read really well. It's a very approachable deck in that way. And then that in itself, I think inspires you to then dive into the book. So you do your reading and you get your message and then, as you're looking more into it, it's like, oh, I wonder what I feel like I read about this. I don't remember quite what this little detail is. And then you look that up and you build as you go.
Yeah.
So I think that's one way I would suggest maybe dipping your toes if anybody feels intimidated about. It doesn't have to be like a deep launch right out of the gate.
Exactly. Just start using it. And you can get as into the esoterica as you want, but you don't have to get completely into it in order to have a great experience with the deck.
Exactly. I mean, if anything, you can just start with like the little white book that comes with the deck. You can just start with that, and that would be all you need just to dip your toes and just play and have a good time with it. Yeah.
All right. Julie's turn.
Okay. My head made me do it. Okay. Yeah, this one was definitely a my head made me do it. And that is the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. And so, yeah, any guesses as to why I picked this deck? Basically to try to wrap my Teflon brain around astrology, which, to some modest success, I suppose. So I really thought that this, in conjunction with a couple of books that I had, would be a nice kind of supplement, serve as like beautiful flashcards, if you will, to help me learn and help it to really just for my brain to become a sponge to some of this, which You know, I just don't know that astrology is for me. Like I learn it and I get it, but then it leaves. It just
Mhm.
leaves. And that's my problem. And I think it is because if I truly want to learn and absorb, like I need to be using it all the time. And I'm just not.
Mhm.
I'm just not called to. But it's very weird for me in that like I want to learn and I have learned. And then I just unlearn because I don't like keep using it. Um, and then I have to relearn it all over again. But so yeah, that was why I bought this deck. But now I'm really just kind of using it more as an oracle.
Mhm.
Before it was for just the sake of learning, but now I just want to have it. Might as well have fun with it. Use it more like an oracle. So that's what I have done recently with it.
Awesome. Awesome. I just wanted to welcome a few more people. We have Jen here. Everybody's very excited to see Julie because we haven't seen her in a while. We have Ana Luisa, and I'll answer this question about the Deviant Moon Little White Book, which is that I have no idea because I've never used it because that deck reads completely intuitively for me. The big book is really great. It's very cool. It feels like it's a lot more about the art and the art process and everything like that. So it's a really cool book, but it's not something you necessarily need to read with the deck.
No.
The deck itself is just a super intuitive reader. Like if you just look at the situation that's depicted in the card and what you know about the meaning of the card from the Rider-Waite-Smith standpoint, like you'll get the point that it's making. I feel like I've always felt that way about that deck. Like I just get the point that it's making like right away. Like it's kind of really cool that way. It's a very fluid reader, I think. So yeah.
I don't even know what I did with the little white book.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not
I have
in
it
the
in storage. Yeah, I have it in storage.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah,
I think I did look at it and felt it was helpful, when I had it, and for someone who didn't necessarily connect right away with the imagery. I will say, and I also did have the bigger book, and I agree, Sarah, it felt more like an art book and kind of giving you context as to how the images came into being and the inspiration for them, more than it is about really grasping tarot and using that deck in tarot. So if that's the kind of information you're looking for, I don't know that the larger book would be super helpful in that way. But
yeah, it is. It is a very fluid, like it's pretty easy reader. I find like it really does. Like it is very much the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning, but just with a dark twist in all of the cards. I feel like is basically what you get out of that deck. So. And yeah, Jen, why are you awake? every time she shows up in one of our lives, I feel so privileged because I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning there.
Would you get up just for us? Because that would be like too much.
It's that all her cats have taken up the bed and she has no room there. So she's like, well, might as well
watch some YouTube.
I know, it's always so awesome to see you. Okay, so the next category is the title made me do it. And this is one where I just couldn't get this deck out of my head from the second that I heard that it was coming out. It was a Kickstarter, and I didn't get it with the Kickstarter, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. And that is the pasta tarot. For those of you who don't know, pasta is literally my favorite food of all time. I love pasta. And so it was like a deck comes out called the pasta tarot, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want the pasta tarot. Okay, I kind of want the pasta tarot. And that's how I kept thinking about it. And then finally it came out in mass market, and I was like, fine, I'm getting the pasta tarot. So I got it. And this deck is just wonderful. It's such good fun. And if you love pasta, it will in fact make you extremely hungry, because it does make me hungry every time I read with it, because every card is a different type of pasta, and the suits are different sort of like overarching pasta types. Like the filled pasta is the cup, so you have like manicotti and tortellini, and then the wands are like the long pastas, and it's a really, really good deck with a lot of just fun culture, a lot of humor, a lot of butt cracks, but a lot of like really delicious looking food. There's a lot of just like references to Italian American culture in it, and it's so fun. This deck is so delightfully fun. It's quite readable, and yeah, it's just like pasta tarot. Like once I knew there was a pasta tarot, was I ever going to be able to resist having the pasta tarot? Like, I don't think so. I think I was destined to own this from the minute it was invented. So anyway, all right. Next up is Heather. Oh yeah, Jilly, you did interview them on Wine and Tarot. I remember that. Yeah, that was so. The creators of this deck are just extremely funny, delightful people. And when the Kickstarter went live, the video that they had that went along with the Kickstarter was so fun. And yeah, it was awesome. It's an awesome deck.
So I found this one really hard because I have to admit, I don't think I've ever bought a deck just for the name, but I went with the Modern Witch because I'm always banging on about how I want my tarot imagery to be modern and to reflect the world that I live in. And I'm a witch. So it felt like, felt like destiny or something. And I do really like the deck. I hate this cardstock. I hate it. I don't want to read tarot in the bath. I don't have baths. I can't get in and out of them. I'm arthritic. So I don't need a deck that I can take into the bath with me.
You never know.
Well, who knows what could happen in the future. But yeah, I don't. But I don't really have anything to say about this deck that hasn't been said a million times by me already. So, but yeah, there you go.
It's a great deck. Like,
it is a good deck. I mean, it's an RWS, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is an RWS clone for pretty much.
Yeah, but with all women and all modern settings. But basically, other than that, it's a clone. So yeah.
Oh, Jilly, yeah, I don't like the box either. I hate the box for this deck. Every time you pick it up, the bottom falls out. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing I like about this deck is the artwork.
That's what basically stopped me from buying that deck, knowing just so many complaints about like just the form factor.
And they did not think this through. They didn't think it through. It's really hard to shuffle. I can't riffle shuffle it. I don't even try.
Yeah.
And the box is I think this is the first time they did this box.
I think so.
And now they do the class box at the bottom, don't they? Which is much better. But if you don't squeeze it in exactly the right way when you pick it up, the inside just comes out.
That's so annoying.
Yes, it is.
You're like, who designed this?
I don't know. Somebody who had never tried picking it up, clearly. So irritating. Like it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't fit properly. It doesn't hold. Like why would you do that? Oh God, it makes me so mad. I shouldn't have picked this back.
There's like furious all over again. She's like, oh my God, I hate this.
I was over it, but apparently I'm just a grouchy old woman who's like, oh, you brought it up. Now I'm going to moan about it.
Have you thought about putting it in a bag?
Yes, this morning I thought about putting it in a bag when I picked it up off my shelf and it fell everywhere. So yeah, it didn't cross my mind. Thanks for bringing that up, Julie.
I love it. Hey, what does the back design look like on that deck?
On the deck?
Yeah.
Hang on.
The light blue, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. That's
and
nice.
It is reversible for people who care about that kind of thing. It is reversible.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is because you have a birthday coming up in a couple of months, and like if the deck needs a bag like that, just gives me ideas.
Just in case you missed it.
Okay. Okay.
Would you like me to send you a picture?
Yeah, I got it. I have an idea already. So okay. All right. So Julie's turn.
This one was a little bit difficult for me as well, but the best I could come up with was Tarot of a Moon Garden borderless. Like when I heard there was going to be Tarot of a Moon Garden, just in general, I have every conceivable version you can imagine. And so why not add another? I heard that there was going to be borderless. And I mean, they gave you maybe like a picture or two to go off of. So I really had no idea. But I was like, what the hell? Borderless? Sure, give it to me. Let's see what you do with this. I'd like to know. And also that the full guidebook would be included with this edition, which is a book that I've been wanting for a while, but you know, it's since it was out of print, it just would have gone for insane prices by, you know, on the market. So those were the factors that just made me kind of blindly press pre-order, which I don't ever really pre-order anything. But with this, I did actually pre-order it because I'm like, yeah, of course, Tarot of Moon Garden. And in terms of like the production, I think they overall did a great job with it. It's you know, it's purple. Hello, totally my cup of tea. And it's the saturation's pumped up a little bit, which makes certain things easier to see. And I think it shuffles very nicely, a little too nicely sometimes. A little bit. It's a little bit. Sometimes it goes a little all over the place with the linen situation and just the shape of it. But overall, I'm very happy. I don't have any complaints, and I'm glad to add this to my all the other versions that I have.
Love it. Love it. I actually did buy the borderless version of that deck, but really just for the guidebook because I actually like the borders on Tarot of Moon Garden. But I did want the guidebook, so I bought I have an extra now copy of the borderless version. So
nice.
Yeah.
I like it all. Mine is borderless or not. Sarah, is mine borderless?
Yes, yours is borderless.
Yes, yours is borderless. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you shuffle, you have said it just flies.
Oh yeah, it just like goes.
And it does. It certainly does. You have to kind of practice and have a little bit of finesse with it. But yeah.
So Candy would like to know is it worth it to get it just for the book? And I think Julie, you have a whole video on this, don't you?
I in fact do. Thank you for mentioning. But too long didn't watch. I personally think so because I know that I had this deck in several editions for how many years, and certain things just really didn't pop out at me until getting the book. And certain, you know, descriptions and the way that the author would characterize, you know, certain details in some of the cards, it really kind of gave more of a storybook quality and, you know, just gave more layering to what you're seeing in the card for me. Now, and it was enough of that. Like the whole book wasn't just riddled with all these, you know, nuggets and gems and Easter eggs or anything like that. But certainly it was enough that for someone who's as huge a fan of the deck as I am, I personally found that rewarding. Some of you might say, hey, I can go watch Julie's book or Julie's video on the book, and those examples are enough for me. I don't need to get it. You know, I mean, maybe like it really just depends how much you love the deck and how immersed you want to get in it. It is, and some of it is dated too. I mean, they did not do any revisions, so some of the language does feel dated, you know, of its time. But all in all, I have to say I really enjoyed going through and reading it, and it really did have notice things, make me notice things, clarify little details for me that I didn't know what I was necessarily looking at in an image, etc. So that's just my take.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, I'm smiling at Candy's comment.
Yeah.
It's basically the correction. I was like, I do that all the time. All the time.
You know, put your pen down.
Love it. Love it. Yes, Jen. Yeah, I love the borders on that deck. They make it feel like you're peeking through the trees at something. I just, for that particular deck, I like that feeling. Other decks I might not like those borders, but for that one I do.
Yeah, I didn't like them at first. At first, but then I grew to like them, and just and also especially like that edition that it's that cardstock, that good cardstock that US Games used until they switched to shitty cardstock.
Yeah. I think my copy of that deck that I have was printed in like 1990 something. So it's a vintage copy for sure. And the cardstock is just
So good.
luscious. It's so good. I love it so much.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think it's my turn. So this next prompt is the art made me do it. And like there were so many decks that I could have picked for this one because typically the art does make me do it. But this is a deck that I got once, and I tried to use it in the way that it's not intended to be used, and I decided I didn't like it. And then I got it again recently because they ran a new Kickstarter for it, and because the art is so beautiful. And this time I decided I was going to try to use it in the intended way. And this is a deck for Wonder Walking. And this deck, the artwork of this deck is so stunning. Like, I want to hang every one of these pictures on my wall. They're utterly gorgeous. But the thing is that the first time I got this deck, I got it to use as like an oracle deck. And that's not what it's designed for. Like, that's not the purpose of the deck. Like, it's called a deck for Wonder Walking. And the intention of the deck is to be something that you use as you sort of like explore your environment. And it's supposed to like give you what to look for on your walk that day. And so the second time I got it, I like made a sort of like deal with myself that I am going to use it this time as it is intended. And so I went ahead and, which I didn't do before, this time I backed like the full large book that has all of the different prompts and information and all of the things that, you know, you're supposed to think about as you're going walking with this deck. And then she also included this time around a journal, which is very beautiful, that you can use with this deck as well. And so the goal this time is to actually use it the way that it's intended. And so that is the plan. I haven't really done much with it yet because summer is kind of the best time to walk in Minnesota, and it's been a very, very busy summer for me. So I haven't really gotten very into this practice, but as it gets into the fall and things slow down a bit, that is the plan, because I love walking. I love exploring my surroundings. I live in a very nice place to do those kinds of things, and across from a giant park with tons of hiking trails that I've spent so much time in. And yeah, so I'm actually really glad that the art made me buy this one again, but I do plan to actually try to use it in the way that it was designed instead of trying to use it for something that it wasn't designed for and deciding I didn't like it. So anyway, that is a deck for Wonder Walking. So.
It's very pretty.
It's so beautiful. It's just, it's just stunning. Yeah.
So mine could also be a Julie made me do it, but 90% of my decks could be a Julie and or Sarah made me do it. So because we're always sending each other decks. We see this. But mine is the Korean traditional tarot, I think is what it's actually called. And this is without a doubt the most beautiful deck that I own. It is absolutely stunning. The artwork is just so good. So good. And I don't really have anything else to say about it, but I'm still going to make you look at lots of cards anyway for 5 minutes. Because that
deck is really beautiful.
It really is. It's really stunning.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I was going to choose that as well, but I thought that was going to be too predictable, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I would have.
Yeah, I did. When I was like, oh, I hope me and Julie don't have the same deck for this. But,
yeah.
It is just,
it's really
it's just stunning. Every card, there's not one card that I don't like personally. Every card is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And I actually bought it for more than the artwork, but the artwork definitely helped finalize that decision for me.
So good. So good.
Oh my gosh, Jilly. You know me freakishly well, because I almost picked The Lonely Dreamer. In fact, my notes still say The Lonely Dreamer. I changed my mind. I changed my mind at the last minute because I decided that the other one was sitting in front of my desk on me, and I thought, oh, that one would actually work for that prompt too. But I actually did initially pick The Lonely Dreamer for that prompt. So that's my mind is blown.
Wow.
That,
I think Sarah might actually be speechless. That
I
doesn't mean
am
I'm
actually
embarrassed.
that you picked up on that, because like literally, like if you look at my notes, it literally still says The Lonely Dreamer for that prompt. So dang, okay. I feel so perceived.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, Julie's turn.
Okay, so the one that I chose, I happen to have out and have been using for so long, and it is Tarot of the Guiding Muse. Definitely bought this for its artwork, and like Sarah said, so all of my decks virtually I buy because I love the art, in some way, and this one for sure. It's totally my cup of tea. I just love this artist's style. I like that it has, a contemporary vibe and yet can still feel not dated, and just every single card, the way that the creator has decided to, depict the meaning of that card, I've just really enjoyed. I don't think there is a card that I don't like in this deck. And so I just think he knocked it out of the park. There are cats. Once again, we see a theme here with cats. So it's just really beautifully rendered. And that's just, this has definitely become another home deck for me for sure. I can't stop using it. And I will find any number of reasons as an excuse just to use it because it's so good.
Sadly, we can't see it because you're.
I know. I was
mega frozen
you're
again.
frozen on my end. I didn't know if it was just mine or if it was everyone's.
I think it's everyone's. So I wish
we
I had my Tarot of the
I
Guiding Muse.
hang on. I do have my copy right here.
Oh, did you get it too?
I did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to show?
You're a little delayed still. Like you're kind of blurry and delayed. So.
Am I still delayed now? Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my pick. There you go.
Yeah.
I have the cards. Julie, if you want me to show some
go ahead.
images, because I have it right here. So for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Mine is on my bedside table in the other room because I've been using it. So
yeah, I'm using mine as well, which is why it happens to be right here. So just for anybody who might not have seen it already, I think Julie did show it in our last live or catch up. I can't remember, maybe both. I don't remember, but it is, which is why I now own it, because Julie has shown it at least once.
Yeah.
I'm like,
could have gone on TarotTube, made me do it because I was influenced. Like
same.
It is wonderful. It's there are some cards and like the card where she's crocheting on the back of the turtle, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. I was like, this is just, and there's cats all over it, and like
there is a lot of
so much. I just it's so wonderful.
Page of Cups.
Oh, the Page of Cups. Love it.
I can't. What did you say? The Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah, that's the one, right? Where Julie, she's on a turtle and she's crocheting.
Yeah, I just can't find it now. Of course, obviously.
It's so good.
Find the one I'm actually looking for. I like the Five of Wands too, when they're all fighting over the same fish.
Yes, it's just such a fun take on it. So, yeah. And Marlena, it's curated art decks are such a hit or miss for me, but like, boy, some of them are really, really good. And I've been looking at the Duloc one. I haven't tried that one, but it is really lovely. So.
No, I've probably gone past it already and just not. Oh no, wait here. There you go.
Yeah. I love it. And the fact that she is specifically crocheting, like you can tell specifically that she's crocheting, because I am a crocheter and not a knitter. And so that like really appealed to me. So yeah, just love that one.
Yeah, it's a good deck. It is a really good deck.
All right. So the next category is the hype made me do it. And this one is like incredibly obvious to me. This was 100% hype, but it's actually become a really a real workhorse deck for me in a lot of ways, and that is the Light Seers Tarot. And
I nearly picked that one.
yeah, for anybody who was around when this deck originally came out, the hype around this deck was absolute. Like the Kickstarter was massive, and it was just like a huge deal, and everybody backed it. And I actually didn't, because I was sort of so about the art, and I was like not sure that it was for me, and so I didn't actually back the Kickstarter, and I ended up eventually acquiring it after the Kickstarter was already over, because so many people had it, everybody was loving it, everybody was reading with it. Once I had the chance to see all the cards, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see the appeal of this deck. And now I'm at the point where the only version of it I own is the tin version, because this is a deck that I never use to read for myself, but it's a deck that I use to read for clients a lot. And it's a deck that I like to carry around with me a lot to do readings. So I don't even have any like full size versions of this deck anymore. I just have the mini in a tin, because it's very very usable and portable for me in that size, and it makes it a really good deck to keep in my little tarot reading kit that I keep in my bag. So and it's just a great deck. It's not a deck that I personally connect to, but as a reading deck and especially for, there are just like people that you read for where you think about them and you're like, okay, that this is a deck that like is very them, like what feels like a deck that would really resonate with them a lot. And so, and I have people in my life who are like that. So yeah, it's just, as a reading deck, it's a total workhorse for me. Even though, it was originally just hype that made me get it. And I never really thought of it as being a deck for me, but it is a great deck. So anyway, that's the Light Seers. But again, I have the amazing tin version, which is what I wish they had done with the Tarot.
Yeah.
This is what I was hoping for, and this is not what they gave us. So, but anyway, yeah, Light Seers is great, a great deck. So that is mine. And Heather why is this not working? Gaga. There we go.
So I went with, for this one, the This Might Hurt Tarot, because when this one was due to be released, it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was really excited. I don't know if this was the first deck that did holographic edges instead of just the normal, or she did black or whatever it was that she did. I didn't get those ones. I just got the normal. But people were wild for this deck before it came out, and now I never see anybody talk about it ever.
How it goes, right?
Yeah. But it was so hyped up, and I love it. Like, it's definitely my style. I like the like comic booky style artwork, and I'm really happy I own it. But in hindsight, I'm not sure I would have backed this deck if I hadn't got so invested in everybody else's hype. I might have waited and got it much later, but I don't regret it. So
yeah,
that's it. There's me.
Yeah, I had that one for a while too. I think in my case, the artwork was just a little too comic booky for me. But like, not like, there are certain styles of comic booky that I like and certain styles that I don't like as much, and that is the kind that I don't like as much. And also the devil card, I'm just like,
right, with
there's just too much male genitalia right in my face that I'm just like not. I'm always just like, ugh, every time it comes up, I'm just not into it.
And Julie with her King of Pentacles, that's the other one, right, Julie?
I never mentioned that online for fear that people would not be able to unsee it. I think I just said it with the three of us. I don't remember, but yes. We won't say why.
No.
Yeah, we won't say why, but
I'd never noticed a problem with the devil until you two told me.
How did you not know? Like, it's right there. Like, it's just
really isn't. It really isn't.
It's just the stance. Like, the man-spreading stance is just so like, it's just, it feels very in your face to me. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's just a little much for me. So Julie's turn.
Sorry for anyone we have just ruined that deck for.
It's fine. You can just draw some, booty shorts on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It's totally fine. Okay, the one that I chose, actually, this is now out of print, but it is the Moon Baby Tarot. This is the first edition. And when this deck was being created and then put up on Kickstarter, there was just a lot of buzz, at least I felt. And also I modified this. I totally like chopped off the white. So I just felt like I was seeing it all the time. There's a lot of talk on TarotTube about it because essentially this, emulates the look of the Hoi Polloi, which was a tarot deck that is now out of print also. And when was that published? In like the 70s or something?
70s, yeah. It was published
So
in the
it's an older deck, out of print, and very much sought after. And if you can find a copy on the marketplace, it goes for insane amounts. And so Brant Palazzo was basically, creating this version in homage to that deck. And so people were very excited to be able to own a deck that looked very much like the Hoi Polloi. And I thought it was cool. Like, in general, tradition looking RWS doesn't necessarily do it for me, but like I did like the color scheme, and I thought, yeah, I mean, the colors are really doing it for me. And then probably just seeing everybody so excited and talking about it, and he had like pale pink edges for his first edition, which I chopped off, so what? But he did. And so yeah, all the talk definitely influenced my purchasing it. I did not back it on the Kickstarter, and that campaign was very successful. And it was after that I decided, okay, fine, I guess I'll buy a copy. So, and I'm glad I did. It's a really fun deck, and I really enjoy it. So I don't regret my decision.
I did the exact same thing. I bought it after the Kickstarter was over, and I still have it. I like it a lot. Yeah. As far as just having a kind of fun, alternately colored, slightly different artwork vibe of the RWS, and I have a couple of those, and it's just nice to have a real basic deck that still has, that vibe, but an RWS, but with some different fun, funky colors and a slightly different look and feel. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's worth having.
I agree.
Okay. So next up, we have a prompt that is my dark side made me do it. And I kind of struggled with this one because, like, I don't know, I don't feel like I have much of a dark side in a lot of ways, or like my deck collection does not actually like encompass my dark side in very many ways. If I do have one, I think about like even the quote dark decks, or like Halloweeny types of decks that I have, tend to be sort of like a little bit more cheeky or humorous. It's just, I kind of just like lean that way. But the one deck that I did want to talk about, because I actually really, really want, I love this deck, but I actually really want the previous version of it, is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Because this deck, so this is a beautiful deck, and I love the aesthetic of this with the flowers, and it's like old, like medical implements and anatomy, and lots of skeletons and skulls, and so I really, really like this deck, and I really like the aesthetic of it. So this is an aesthetic I do enjoy a lot. I really wish that I had a copy of the first edition of this deck, which is the one that didn't have all the flowers and it was just bones and skeletons. Like I would love to have a copy of that edition. I would love to. That edition was so cool, and I just completely missed out on it. But I do still really like this one. I think the aesthetic of it is just beautiful, and I do have that side of me that slightly enjoys this sort of macabre, you know, like vintagey looking skeletons and anatomical illustrations and stuff like that. I do like that kind of thing. So so yeah, this is the one that I picked for this prompt. But yeah, this was one that I kind of struggled with a little bit because whatever dark side I have does not tend to come out in my deck collection very much. So anyway, that is the Antique Anatomy.
I thought I heard rumors that Black in the Moon was reprinting. Maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was the Memento Mori.
Yes, the Memento Mori is being, yeah.
Because I know people have been after that one as well,
Yeah,
because that's been out of print for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I wish she would reprint the original Antique Anatomy, but I think she said that she doesn't ever intend to reprint that one. But boy, I would really love to get my hands on that.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, it is so cool. So I just, yeah, I really, really liked how that one was done. So anyway, that is my dark side for what it's worth. Heather?
Well, I had a few choices for this one because I think my dark side is just what most people call my personality. I know. I'm not subtle about it. But I did end up going with the Deviant Moon for this one because this, in terms of imagery, this is probably one of the darker ones. It was this or the Somnia Tarot were the two that I was debating this morning, and I do really love that deck too. But so we've all already seen this one because Sarah had it for an earlier prompt. But yeah, I think this is, in terms of imagery, is probably one of the darkest ones that I own.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have too much to say about it because, you know, I'm a horror fan in every way. I'm pretty dark. So
the cool thing about it is that it's definitely a dark take on the card meaning. Like, and I think it's done very cleverly in every single one of the cards. Like when you look at it, it genuinely gets at the shadow meaning of whatever card that is in a really, really clever way. And that's the thing that I love about it. So Marlena wants to know if you have any other Patrick Valenza decks.
I do not. No.
Yeah.
No, only this one.
Yeah.
There's just something I don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say his art style is my taste. Generally, there's just something about this particular deck, and I think, like Sarah was just saying, the rendition of the RWS in this particular style that really works. But none of the other decks have ever really appealed to me. This one didn't either. There was a long period of time where I thought I was never going to own this deck, but it does. It really works on so many levels for so many different reasons.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, it's not to say, like, you know, the art, again, it's not because the art is necessarily my cup of tea. Although it is beautiful, it is well done. He's an amazing artist. Like, I don't, you know, it's just, it's not my personal taste necessarily, the artwork. But the thing about that one is specifically how it depicts the card meanings. That is the thing that really connects me to it. And so his other decks, like where it's his art but depicting the card meanings differently, or even some of the, you know, like he has some like Pip style decks and stuff like that, and those would just never appeal to me because it's, the art is not the thing that draws me to it. So yeah,
it also took me a really long time to figure out, this is really like stupid to admit to given the name and everything, but that they were moons, like that they were moons. Like I see this deck and it just makes me think of Punch and Judy. I don't know why, but that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
All of and it just, I don't know. I like, just one day I had it out and I was like, oh wait.
Yeah. They're moons.
Oh hang on.
Yeah, they're all moons.
Deviant Moon. That would make sense.
But they're literally in the Six of Cups. They're watching a Punch and Judy show. Like there is definitely like that reference is part of the deck for sure also.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that's all I see is Punch and Judy. It took me much longer than it should have done to figure out that they were moons. So yeah.
Good.
It's a good job I'm not easily embarrassed, isn't it?
I do not think you're the only one there. I really don't.
Yeah.
All right. Julie's turn.
Okay.
Tell us about your dark side, Julie.
My choice is one I've shown before, and that is Murder of Crows. I feel like this leans on probably the darker of like my collection, because I am a mix. I do love my cute and whimsical, but then I do also love kind of creepy, darker, macabre. And so I say that this leans more toward that way. Although I know I've mentioned before that even though the imagery lends to that kind of aesthetic, it's not necessarily a deck that always reads that way for me. I think there is actually versatility in this deck, depending on how you perceive the crows, depending on how you perceive the people in the plague masks, etc. And so, I mean, this is definitely one of my rage decks for sure when I want to lean into that. And also I've had other profound readings where like that is not the vibe. So, and that was a very, like, that was a nice surprise for me. So, but yeah, I would say that a lot of people would think that this is more on like the darker side aesthetically. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Murder of Crows. I did modify this one, by the way. I colored it.
There is a level on which I think, because I really like the plague mask like aesthetic too. Like I think that's really cool. Corvids, like that's all very cool. The thing I think that slightly creeps me out about that deck is that the artwork style reminds me the tiniest bit of the art in the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. I think it's
like, and those books scared the shit out of me as a child. So much. Like, oh my, like I have particular illustrations from those books seared into my brain. And that deck reminds me so much of it. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That tracks. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, Marlena, yes. All of us children who grew up at least partially in the 80s and early 90s remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Like those books. Yes. And it still scares me too. Yeah. Like, those books were scary as hell. So yeah.
Oh my God. If anybody hasn't seen it, the newer film is actually quite good. It is quite scary.
Oh,
yeah. I would recommend it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Does it do anything with the art style of those illustrations? Because that's so much something that
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Because the illustrations are the thing that just I cannot not see them when I think of those books. Like I remember the cover, like I remember everything, Oh yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wait, it's my turn. I was gonna put Heather in the middle, but that is not right. Okay. Okay, so the next one is My Inner Child Made Me Do It. And there were a couple that I could have picked for this one. And I've talked a bit before about which of my decks are like definitely inner child decks. And at the end of the day, I just ended up going with the Crystal Visions because, like this could not be more of an inner child deck for me, or inner teenager, as I always say. This is just 90s fantasy art, like, on steroids, it feels like. And I love everything about it. And just something about this is just, it just speaks to me of a certain age. Despite the tiny ponies that everybody
I'm waiting for some tiny ponies.
Yeah, the tiny out of scale. I gotta find a tiny pony. The tiny out of scale.
We're all waiting for here. Come on.
It's riding in this deck. Oh my God! Why can't I find a tiny pony? Here's one. Here's a tiny pony. Like you can tell that's much smaller than a horse should normally be. Just this artist for some reason. There's no people in that one, so you can't tell. But yeah, this artist for some reason just here's another one. A large man riding a tiny unicorn. So I don't know why, but that's how they all turned out. But I love this deck. Like this just it really speaks to a certain time in my life, and I love it for that. So yeah, this and the Crystal Unicorn were the two that I was going between, because those are like the two most like speaking to my inner child decks that I have. So that is mine. Heather's turn.
The Crystal Unicorn was also one of the two that I could have picked and didn't. I picked this one instead. So I actually picked the Happy Tarot for mine because this is, I mean, it is an RWS deck, but it is so cute and so like childish in the best ways. And I really, really love this deck. I also really like the little white book that comes with this deck, and it does the whole happiness is for each card, which is just a lovely little addition. But I adore this deck like so much, and it does. Like, these are my two personalities, like death and horror and murder, and stupidly cute and saccharine. Those are the I have no middle ground, people. In case anybody is confused by it still. I have two personalities. I'm here or I'm here. I'm very aware of how odd it is.
Either slasher movie or Rainbow Bright. Those are the two options.
Those are the two choices.
Those are the only Care Bears, slasher and Care Bears. Those are the only parts of other personality.
Yeah. That is me perfectly summed up. This deck is very sweet.
It's very sweet.
Overly sweet. And I love it a lot. Sarah, do you still have yours? You bought this one, right?
I did buy it. I have actually been looking to rehome it. It hasn't been purchased yet, but because I like it. I think it's adorable. It's just not the one, like when I reach for other inner child decks, I haven't found myself reaching for that one. So, but not because there's anything wrong with it. Like, it is adorable. It's just that I most often reach for like my Crystal Unicorn, or, you know, if I want a deck that is like candy colored and candy flavored, I almost always reach my Crystal Unicorn. But this is a wonderful deck. It's so cute. It's so, well, it has the Pocky ones.
The Pocky sticks. Yep.
That was the thing. That's
what I would. Yeah.
It's so cute. It's so cute. And yes, Jen, I think I must be a psychologist's dream. I think I would love to sit down with me. Like, but there you go. I am who I am. Too old to change now.
All right. Let's put Julie in the middle. So, Julie, tell us about your inner child.
There were a few I could have chosen, but I decided to go with My Melody Tarot. And this is an out of print deck, but I mean, come on. Sanrio. Oh, come on. They're stuck together. Yeah. Sanrio and, like, you know, the Hello Kitty, My Melody, little twin stars. Yeah, they're just, this is my girlhood right here. And so, of course, like, when I saw that there was an actual tarot deck that was a clone using My Melody, like, I just could not be stopped. I was on a mission to find this deck. It was already out at the time that I discovered its existence, and it had to be mine. So definitely takes me back. And I wish that they would make a deck with the other Sanrio characters. I would totally snatch them up too.
You need a Kuromi tarot so that you can have the My Melody and Kuromi tarots next week.
Yep. And they did have one that is also out of print.
Oh no.
They did have one. Yeah, that's out of print, and I had to make a decision: Kuromi or My Melody, and I opted for Kuromi. I mean, hell, if they did like a Bats Maru, I would be on that. Little twin stars, I'd be on that. I mean, there're just so many. There's so many. I would take my money.
Yeah. Love it. All right, cool. So next prompt is Impulse Made Me Do It. And this is going to be a very recent story because this is like very recent, but also one of my most impulse deck purchases of all time. And Marlena is going to know what I'm talking about because I saw this deck on her channel, and that is the Sci-Fi Tarot. And I saw this deck on Marlena's channel and was like, because I love sci-fi, and I spent a lot of my childhood like reading very old sci-fi paperbacks, and like I really enjoy that aesthetic of like old sci-fi, you know, paperbacks and magazine covers. And so I saw this deck on Marlena's channel, and that's the exact, you know, aesthetic it has. And I thought it was so delightful. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I immediately looked it up, and because I was thinking, oh, it's like probably this super, super expensive indie deck, but I'm just going to go take a look at it. And so I went to look at the creator's Etsy, and this deck is $25. Like, it's really nice. It comes in this really cool box. Like, the production quality of it is really good, and it's $25. So I was just like, sold American. Like, I literally, it was a 10-minute process or less of actually seeing this deck for the first time and then buying it, because I could not believe what a good price it was. And now I'm so happy I have it. I just love it. So anyway, so yeah, this was 100%, saw it on somebody's channel, bought it in less than 10 minutes because I couldn't believe how inexpensive it was. And I was just like, I'm just getting it. I'm just going to get it. So anyway, this is a great, great deck that it's very funny and smart and charming, and I really like the art style, and yeah, shockingly inexpensive for how nice it is. So anyway, so if you're interested in this deck, it is Todd Alcott is the artist. He also did the Pulp Tarot and the Horror Tarot, and it's on Etsy, and yes, it is indeed shockingly inexpensive for how nice it is. So anyway, that is the Sci-Fi Tarot.
And you've used it already in like readings and
A
stuff?
little bit, yeah. I've used it a little bit. I haven't used it a ton yet. I've been kind of thinking of this one as being my deck for next month, because I kind of bought a whole bunch of decks at the same time, and I've kind of been like trying to spend time with them, and like so I kind of have like a little lineup that I'm planning on doing. So like next month is going to be this deck in August, and then the month after that is going to be the Desert Illuminations in September, because that kind of feels right, and then it'll be Halloween, and then so yeah, so I have worked with it a little bit. Like, I've done a few pulls, but I think I'll be working with it in August in a more like focused way. So, but it's quite delightful. So anyway, that is mine. Heather's turn.
So mine is the Beauty of Horror Tarot, which I had never seen anywhere, never heard anyone talk about it. Was scrolling through Amazon, just looking at decks like you do on a Sunday afternoon when you're bored. I saw it. Again, it was really cheap. I saw like 3 cards and went, yeah, okay. And I didn't even put it in my basket. I did buy now. Buy now. I didn't even sit on it. I just bought it. And what's even more like shameful is that was like over a year ago, and to date, the only thing I have done with this deck is shuffle it.
Okay.
I mean, luckily it wasn't expensive, but yeah, I haven't even read with it yet. I don't know why. I keep putting it off, but yeah, I really like it as well. It's fun. There is another version, which is a coloring book version, because the company that made this deck actually make coloring books. And so they've done the same deck, but you color it in yourself, which I did. In my defense, I nearly did buy, but I was like, I'm never going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to have like one card with a little bit of color on it, and it's going to be black and white. Yeah. So I went for the colored one instead. But 10 minutes, that's generous. Like two at best. I don't think I've ever. I mean, I can be pretty impulsive sometimes, generally. And it was like 12 quid or something. I was like, yeah. Buy now. Something I would enjoy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah.
That would make for a good like Halloween Samhain deck.
Yeah, I think I might use it in October.
Yeah.
Actually, because the other decks that I've got that I normally pull out in October, I've used so much in October that I think just for a change, I might use this one instead and see how it goes.
Sweet.
Love it. All right. Julie's turn. Excuse me.
Okay. So I would say this would classify as a impulse / if you watched my retail therapy video that I did recently, we two birds with one stone kind of thing. So basically, I was looking to spend some money and looking to just comfort shop and whatever. And it was my birthday and I had money, and I just went to Barnes and Noble. And I'm like, oh yeah, here's a deck. Okay, let's buy this. And this is the Zodiac Tarot. not having really any designs prior to for purchasing this deck. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty. You know, Sarah showed it a couple times. She has the mini. The images are perfectly lovely.
It was a great deck and walk deck. Like it's a very good deck for a deck and walk if you're going to do that. So
and now I just might, since I now have a deck. But legit, this was not one that I had on a wish list or anything, and it just happened to be on the shelf at Barnes and Noble. Like of the selection available, this was one of them. I'm like, sure,
yeah,
I'm gonna buy something today. It's gonna happen. I guess this will be one of those decks. So, yeah. That's it. That's really it. And I've done I did one kind of dedicated reading with it just to test drive it. And it was lovely. It reads lovely. And, you know, like Sarah said, now that I have it, I could, you know, do a deck and walk should I choose to, you know, and learn more about the deck-ins. So I have a resource for that. So cool. But this was definitely impulsive for me. I was just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I just need to buy a deck and it's going to happen. And so this was one of the lucky choices.
Is this a Zodiac Tarot that needs a micro trim, Marlena?
Ooh, does it?
Does it have edging on it or something? Or is it just regular?
No, it is sharp. I will say it is sharp. And this cardstock is shit to me. I don't know why they chose this cardstock. They like, I really just don't understand because it is a really pretty deck. I mean, I really do like the illustration style, and they went with shine, which normally I wouldn't complain about, but like then on black and then on this type of cardstock, I'm scratching my head as production choices for this one. It is, and it, you know, for it's a tarot deck and it's actually a little bit larger than the standard tarot size.
Oh yeah, so that's why Marlena was saying it's
so it
needs a trim because it's
it is big. Exactly, Marlena. So and I had considered it, but then I'm just like, I mean, this was such like an impulse deck that I bought on a whim. I don't know how much I want to invest in doing that if I'm not going to be completely in love with this deck. So time will tell whether this is one for, you know, a season or a reason kind of thing. If it stays, I could very well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I mean, the images do take up a good chunk. And then you've got this like white line here. So for my kind of anal personality to make things look uniform, I don't know, that would be too much thought for me. So I probably won't, but that is my impulse deck.
Sounds good. Sorry for all of the nonstop activity over on my side. My cat is being an asshole. So now I'm in full screen all of a sudden, and I don't know why. Like what?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It was just something I did to my. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
I was confused. Okay, so we actually decided because I believe Tammy Pie was the one who added this category when she did a response to this VR, and that 10th category, to make it an even 10, is your declutter made me do it, which I think we all thought was really fun, because who among us hasn't watched somebody doing a declutter and thought, ooh, actually, I really like that one. I don't like it, but I do. So anyway, this one was a little hard for me because I was having a hard time thinking of specific decks that I have bought from declutters, but I do have decks that I received because they were gifted to me because somebody was decluttering. And so the one that I have as a result of that, one of them is the Boo Tarot, and this deck was gifted to me by a viewer. Just saw me talking about it and how I was interested in it, and she just wasn't into it, and so she sent me her copy incredibly kindly, and I just love this deck. It's so cute. So this is like the cutest. So this again is an example of Sarah's dark side not being very dark. This is a ghost themed deck, but it's freaking adorable. And
cute and creepy is a style. It's a very well loved, very good style that everybody should appreciate.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
this
not
one is barely even creepy.
Well, no, ghosts are creepy just because they're creepy.
I
Like,
suppose that's true.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But this, I mean,
It's so
it's so
cute.
cute.
Look.
It's so stinking cute. And then, and all of the majors, the ghosts have these little like holographic sparkles in their butt. Like it is so adorable. So I love this deck. I love having it. It was such a kind gift. And yeah, it's just one of those perfect examples where somebody was decluttering and a deck found a good home, because I'm never getting rid of this one. I just love it too much. So it's so sweet. Anyway, that is the Boo Tarot. Heather's turn.
hilariously, I also struggled with this one and ended up picking a deck that somebody sent me because they were decluttering. And that would be you, Sarah. so I actually went with the Morning Calm Oracle, which Sarah sent me when she was decluttering. And Julie's already shown this one. So again, everybody's already seen the art, but I'll show you it again because it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
And this is also like exceptionally difficult to get hold of in the UK. So
Yeah.
this is one that I probably never would have owned otherwise, and that I love. It's one of my favorite oracles, and it reads really lovely with the Korean traditional tarot. Like they just pair together beautifully, like they were meant to be together. So I'm really, really happy that I own this, and I'm really, really happy that Sarah didn't want it anymore. Normally, I wouldn't wish that on someone, but I'm like, yes. Yay me. So yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one is out of print, Marlena. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it is lovely. It was just one of the, like, I like the deck. I think it's really wonderful, but it was just a deck where it was like I wasn't reaching for it enough, and it felt like it wanted to go live with Heather, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, this should be Heather's. Like, this is, it actually should live with her, not with me. So it's just kind of how
it's very happy here, I have to say.
Heather was like, hell yeah, she'll live with me. Yeah, going over.
We're very happy together.
Have a great relationship. We just really, really hit it off.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. Julie's turn.
Okay. So I chose the Storyboard Tarot, and you can get this on Tavada.com, but in a similar fashion, a friend was rehoming this deck. And I was like, hold up there, my friend. That deck looks freaking cool. I would love to take that off your hands. Let me know how much I owe you. Let me know what I can do to make this happen. And so we did a trade. And I haven't used it yet, but I am very excited to do so, because now this leans into my more like cutesy, whimsical side. But, as the name would suggest, it is a tarot where you have like panels in the guise of a storyboard. And so it's just really cool to see, the close-ups in each of the panels, like what details are being emphasized, and what story then that makes up for that card. But I just thought it was a fun idea, and I just like that it's different from anything that I have. And
Can you still buy this?
Yes, I think so.
Can you send me the link of where you buy it from?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Yeah,
very
I do too. So I was like, okay, I must have this. So if you're getting rid of it, then I will take that off your hands happily. Once again, lots of cats in this.
It does look like a manga novel, doesn't it?
I was just going to say that. Yes,
absolutely does.
Totally manga influenced. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hence again, storyboard. It's got that story quality with just like and the panels, that you do see in manga. It's just and so I'm all about it for sure. I haven't used it yet, but I'm really looking forward to doing so. And just like even this like 10 of Swords, again, just the different panels and what they show, just very interesting choices for several of these cards. So I'm happy that I was able to get this. So.
I need to go look at this more closely because it does.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Yeah.
So thank you, friend.
right. Well, I think we have completed the entire tag. So plus a bonus. So, and we're at exactly 1.5 hours. So that's a nice
Not
round
bad.
number to call it a day. But thank you all so much for joining us. This was a super fun tag. So we are planning to go live again 4 weeks from today. Let me just look at my calendar and remember what we said. So the next one will be on Saturday, July 19th. So same time, noon as usual, or noon Central, 1 Eastern, whatever time that is British. I can never remember.
Today is Saturday, July the 19th.
Next one is Saturday, August 16th.
I even missed that.
Yeah, it's
Thank
the
you
July
for
the 19th
that.
now. Like right now.
That would be now. The next, looking at the wrong page of my calendar. Doing great. Doing great. So the next one is Saturday, August 16th. Saturday, August 16th. Again, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, whatever the hell time that is British. And it'll be on what?
6
p.m.
6 p.m. Thank you. And that will be on Julie's channel this time around. So watch for us there. And yeah, we are also in the process of trying to figure out what book we will be reading for our next 3 Girls, 1 Book. So as soon as we have that nailed down, we will let you all know. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us. So thank you all so much for joining us. As always, it was super, super fun. And yeah, have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.